Hello students, good morning and welcome to today's class. So we are going to look at a new chapter which is Basic Concepts in Geometry, Mathematics Part 2. So it's a very interesting topic and it is of course fundamentals to geometry. Okay, so let's begin with it. Now first we will look at what is the meaning of the word geometry. And in this chapter we are going to see point, line, plane, what are coordinates of points, what is distance, how to calculate distance, what is betweenness, what are conditional statements, and what are proofs. So this is gonna be really interesting and activity based lecture. So first we look at what is the meaning of geometry. The word geometry comes from two Greek words. If you break this word apart into two parts, we have the word geo and metron. So geo means earth and metron means measuring. So the meaning forms to be measuring earth. And geometry is extremely important and it has been important since past ancient societies, and it was used for surveying, astronomy, navigation and building also. Geometry, as we know, it is actually known as Euclidean geometry. All right, please remember the word, it's very important. It says the word geometry is also known as Euclidean geometry, and which was written well over 2000 years ago in ancient Greece. And the mathematicians were Euclid, Pythagoras, Thales, Plato, and Aristotle. These are a very few to mention, but when you will be dealing with theorems and axioms and postulates, that time you will be listening their names, reading their names in your textbook. Once again, I'll repeat the names: Euclid, Pythagoras, Thales, Plato, and Aristotle. And the most fascinating and accurate geometry text was written by Euclid, and it was called as Elements. All right, and the text have been used for over 2000 years. Isn't that amazing, students? So with that, we will quickly move to the board now. So what is the picture that you can see on the board? Is it the picture of pyramids in Egypt? Yes, you all are right. These were built around 3000 years before Christian era. How the people were able to build such huge structures in so old time? Any idea, students? It is not possible to build such huge structures without developed knowledge of geometry, right? So you can see, like, just by these examples, we can conclude that geometry has been used over a long period of time, and it has been developed in many nations in different periods and for different constructions also. The first Greek mathematician, that was Thales, he had gone to Egypt. It is said that he determined the height of a pyramid by measuring its shadow. Just imagine, just by measuring the shadow, the mathematician Thales, he was able to tell the height of the pyramid. Isn't that interesting? And he used those properties of similar triangles that we study today. The properties of similar triangles. All right. And now talking about Indian mathematicians, ancient Indians had also developed deep knowledge of geometry, and in Vedic period, people used to use those geometrical properties to build altars. Okay, and there's a very interesting, amazing book called Sulba Sutra. It describes how to build different shapes by taking measurements with the help of a string. Just imagine, with the help of a string, you can build different shapes and structures. And that book, Sulba Sutra, it states the that working. Okay, and in course of time, the mathematicians Aryabhatta, Varahamihir, Brahmagupta, Bhaskaracharya, and many more others, they have given valuable contribution to the subject of geometry. So that is some of the historical part of geometry. Now let us look at what are the real basics. Okay, so just a minute, let me switch. Yes, so the very basic thing about geometry is a point. From the point forms a line, and from the line forms a plane. So starting with the word point. What do you mean by point? These three terms, point, line, plane, these are very basic words and we cannot define them like mathematically. What is a point? Like example, if I try to draw a point on the board, just check. I cannot I cannot give the proper definition. Like here I have drawn a point. Let's name it as point A, and likewise I can draw a bigger dot. This is also A, okay, and I can also draw a point size dot, just a dot. Okay, that is also A. So we cannot define a point by its size. Like it can be a pinpoint or it can be a point like this. Are you all getting? So point is a very basic um, concept, okay? And when many such points or infinite such points, they join together, it forms a line. There you can see line, and we know the structure of line. It's a straight line with two arrowheads at the ends. Now again, it can be a very thin line or it can be a thick line like this, right? The thickness, the width of this line is not defined. We don't define these basic things. All right. And many such lines, when they come together, they form plane. All right. So these are the basic concepts in geometry: a point, a line, and a plane. All right. We generally denote point by stating point A. We use capital letters to represent a point, and then about the line, a line has two arrowheads at the end, and it symbolizes that it can be stretched infinitely. The length of a line is infinite. We cannot determine the length of line. And it can be written or represented by using 2 points, like line AB, like that. And how do we write it? We write it as AB and we draw a line over it like this. Okay, instead of using capital letters and 2 points, we can also write it as line L. We can use small letters like that. Let's say line L or line M, like that. Okay, and plane, you will be studying a lot about plane in higher classes. All right, so with that we will move to the next part, which is what are the coordinates of points and distances. So for this class, we are actually finding the distance between 2 points using a number line. Now you all know what is a number line. A line which has all the numbers on it, all the real numbers on it. That is a number line, right? You can see there's a 0 at the center. There are positive numbers on the right and there are negative numbers on the left. Okay. Now first thing here, if I ask you what is the coordinate of the point B, then the number that you see just below B is the coordinate of that point. So what is the coordinate of B? It's -3. If I ask what is the coordinate of point E, then the number below E, we see it's 3. So the coordinate of point E is 3. Okay, I hope that is very clear. So using these coordinates, we can find distance between 2 points. So let's see how to find distance, or how can we see here the distance between, let's say, A, B. So just check, if we take jumps, how many jumps do we require to reach the point B from A? Those are 2 jumps, right? So the distance between A and B is 2. All right. But how do we do this mathematically? The algebraic working of this, it will be, we subtract the coordinates. Okay, we subtract the coordinates of these 2 points, A and B. Okay, and we represent it as distance A comma B, like that. All right, and we know the coordinate of A is equal to -5 and the coordinate of B is equals to -3. To find the distance, we subtract the smaller from the greater. Which is the smaller out of these two? We know the number on the left is the smaller, right? So -5 is less than -3. So we are going to subtract greater number minus the smaller number, which is -5. So this will be -3. Negative and negative will make it a positive, +3. So what is the distance? You see the distance is 2. So just by looking at the number line, we can find the distance like this. But suppose the number line is not mentioned, or the numbers are very huge numbers, then how do you find the distance? We find it using this algebraic method. Okay, we find the coordinates, or whichever the coordinates are given to us. We simply check which is the smaller one and which is the greater one, and simply subtract the smaller from the greater one. All right, and that gives us the distance. So what we need to remember from here, we need to remember that the distance between 2 points is obtained by subtracting the smaller coordinate from the larger coordinate. All right, so first, step 1, you need to write down the coordinate. Step 2, check which is the smaller coordinate, which is the larger coordinate. And finally, we solve it to find the distance. And a very important point is the distance between any 2 points is non-negative real number. Okay, it will be always a positive number. Distance is always positive. Okay, with that, we will quickly begin with practice set 1.1. So look at the first question. It says, find the distances with the help of number line given below. So the initial questions, they have the number line and we are asked to find the distance. Whereas in the later questions, we are just given direct coordinates and we are asked to find the distance. All right, so let's get started with this. First, we write the coordinate of B and coordinate of E. So coordinate of point B, just a minute. Coordinate of point B is, yes, I know you all have it, it's 2. And what is the coordinate of point E? The number exactly below E, that is 5. So coordinate of point E is 5. And how do we find the distance? We are going to subtract the smaller from the greater. So comparing, we see 5 is greater than 2, right? So distance between the points B and E is equals to 5 minus 2, the greater minus smaller, right? So I can write it out like this, greater minus the smaller number. So the greater number is 5 and smaller is 2. Subtracting, we get 3. Therefore, the distance between the points B and E is 3. You can check it through this number line also. Just check if we need to find the distance, we move from B to E. So just check how many places do we move? We move 3 places, and hence the distance between B to E is 3. Let's look at the second problem now. Of question number 1, we are looking at the second question. Distance between the points J and A. So we start with writing out the coordinates of J. So coordinate of point J is equal to, that is equals to -2, and the coordinate of point A is equals to 1. Then we check which is smaller and which is greater. Clearly, 1 is greater than -2 right? So distance between the points J and A is equals to, again, it is greater number minus the smaller number. Which is the greater one? 1 minus the smaller one is -2. Now check, we are combining the signs. Negative and negative makes it a positive. So 1 plus 2, we see the distance between J and A is 3. And we can verify it on the number line. So moving from J to A, there are how many jumps? 1, 2, 3. So you see the distance between J and A is 3. Isn't that easy and interesting? We move to the third question now. Question number 1, part 3. We are asked to find distance between P and C. So start with writing out the coordinates. Coordinates Coordinate of point P is equal to, it is -4 over here. And what is the coordinate of point C? That is equals to 3 over here, right? And which is the greater number from this? It's 3, which is greater than -4. So we find the distance by using the formula, which is greater number minus the smaller number. The greater number here is 3 minus the smaller, which is a -4. Combining the signs, we get 3 plus 4. So we get distance between the points P and C is equals to 7. And if you check it on the number line, you can just check the jumps. That is from P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The distance is 7. Okay. That is super easy, isn't it? Now we move to question number 2. All right, we have one more question from question 1. It's distance between J to H. So let's find out this. Coordinates or coordinate of point J. What is the coordinate of point J? I hope you all are solving with me. Coordinate of point J is a -2, and coordinate of point H, that is equal to -1, right? And what will be the distance? So straight away, looking at this number line, you can find out the distance is 1, right? But let us reuse it properly using the formula. What do we get here? Which is the greater one? It's -1 that is greater than -2, right? Because -1 is on the right hand side. The number on the right hand side is always greater than the number on the left. Okay, so greater minus smaller, that will be -1 minus -2. Okay, so that will be -1, negative and negative makes it positive. So +2, that will be 1. So you see the distance between J comma H is equal to 1. Let's move to the second one, question number 2. So here we are not given the number line, but we are given the coordinates directly. Okay. So how do we begin with this problem? Question number 2, we are doing the first one. We are given that if the coordinate of A is X, so A is X, all right, A is X, and that of B is Y, so B is Y. We are asked to find the distance between A, B. Okay. So distance between A comma B, that would be the greater number minus the smaller number, right? We are simply subtracting the smaller from the greater. So among these two coordinates, which is greater? Clearly it's 7, minus which is smaller? It's 1. So what is the distance? 7 minus 1 is 6. So distance between the points A comma B is equals to 6. All right, we look at the second one now. it says x equals to 6 and y equals to negative 2. X equals to 6 and y equals to negative 2, right? So we need to find the distance between the points a comma b, which is greater minus smaller. Sorry about that. Okay. So which is the greater among these two, 6 or negative 2? Yes, 6 is greater. So that would be 6 minus, and the smaller one is a negative 2, right? So simplifying we get this is 6, negative and negative makes it a positive, that would be 8. So distance between the points a comma b is equal to 8. All right, isn't that easy? So the first chapter, basic concepts in geometry, is actually very easy and a scoring chapter. All right, we look at the third one now. X equals to negative 3 and y equals to 7. I know by now you all must have solved this. Quickly, let me write it out on the board. So third part, we need to find the distance between a comma b, which would be greater minus smaller. Greater number is 7 minus the smaller one, smaller is negative 3, and we know negative and negative makes it positive, so adding 3 we get 10. So the distance between a comma b is equal to 10. All right, with that we move to question number 3. From the information given below, find which of the point is between the other two. If the points are not collinear, state so. So here the word collinear is used. What do you mean by collinear? Collinear means points in a line. Points in a line. Co-linear. Linear means a line formation, and co means points which are next to each other. So it's like if these 3 points are lying next to each other such that we can pass a line through them, or they all can fall on a line, then such 3 points they are called as collinear. Whereas suppose if I draw some other points, let's say I have drawn these 3 points. Can a line pass through all 3 of them? Can a line pass through all 3 of them? No, it's not possible, right? The line would bend at this point or anyhow. They won't fall on a straight line. So such points they are called as non-collinear points. Non-collinear points. Okay. So for this question, we have to first check which point lies between which. The 3 points are P, Q, and R. We have to check if these 3 points they lie on a line or not. Okay. So let's begin with this question. We are first given distance between PR is 7. So how are we going to solve it? We are first going to draw a line. Okay, we just try to construct it. We start with the line which is with the length or the distance which is the highest. So PQ is the highest. We draw out P over here. This point is P, this point is Q. So the highest or the greatest distance, which is 10, is PQ, right? And now if you check QR, so of course QR needs to be falling towards this side, right? R has to be a point between P and Q to make this condition true, right? We are asked find which of the point is between the other two. So clearly start with the greatest distance, which is 10 over here, and then you see R will lie somewhere over here, such that suppose R lies here, then RQ the distance is 3, and you see PR the distance is 7. How do we verify? Adding these two numbers, adding 7 and 3, we should get the sum to be the third distance. And that's how we verify this. Okay, so step 1, we draw the diagram. So you see we have drawn the diagram over here, which is it should look like this. We draw r over here. This distance is 3, this distance is 7. We always start with the greatest distance. All right, and then after drawing this diagram, you should show the working or the verification part. So how do we do that? Distance PR plus the distance RQ, that should equal to distance PQ. Okay, adding these two distances, if we get the third distance, then it means that those 3 points, they lie on a line. Those 3 points, they are collinear. And suppose this doesn't happen, suppose if we add the two smaller numbers and we don't get the greater number, then it means that those points are not collinear. All right, so we add those two distances, which is 7 plus 3. That would give us a 10, and which is equals to distance P comma Q. So since distance P comma R plus distance R comma Q is equal to distance P comma Q, we say that therefore P dash R dash Q are collinear. Those points are collinear. And we are asked to find which of the point is between the other two. So which is the point between the other two? R is between, or we can say point R is between so we can say point R is between P and Q. Okay, so this is easy, and we move to next question. A similar type of problem from question 3. Again, we are asked here to find which point is between the other two, and also we have to find if the points are collinear or not. Okay, so how do we begin? We start with the greatest number. Which is the greatest? It's 8. Adding these two, we should get the smaller one, the greater one. Adding these two, the smaller numbers, we should get the greater one. But just check, adding 6 and 4, do we get 8? No, that's not possible, right? So it means these points are non-collinear. They are not collinear. All right, so how do we show this working? No need to draw the diagram, because clearly it is not possible for the condition to satisfy that adding these two numbers we get 8. So no need to draw the diagram. Straight away we are going to check if the points are collinear. We check if the distance between the smaller numbers, that is if the distance between ST plus distance between RT is equal to the distance of RS. Okay, so we are going to check this. So what is the distance of ST, which is 6, plus the distance of RT, which is 4? That should equal to 8. We see that 10 is not equal to 8. Therefore